Aiden woke up with a start and suddenly heard a horrible hissing sound outside. He just went to the balcony and saw a military helicopter crashing into a nearby building. Aiden was terrified. He cautiously peeks out and looks downstairs. He saw people running frantically, and his girlfriend, who had just spent the night, was among them. He tried to shout, but he found his girlfriend and another person jumping on an older man and biting him wildly. The confused Aiden was instantly dizzy. What the hell is going on? He stumbled back into the house. A man rushed in, a next-door neighbor. He said that his roommate suddenly went crazy and begged Aiden to take him in. Before Aiden could react, the man stepped into the bathroom. He had a big cut on the back of his neck. Aiden realized something was wrong and grabbed a sharp knife to defend himself. At that moment, the TV suddenly broadcasted the news that there was a zombie virus outbreak in the city, and anyone who was bitten or scratched would be infected. At that moment, Aiden's neighbor came out and saw the news on TV. He hurriedly explained that he was fine, but his eyes had turned red. Aiden took the sharp knife and told his neighbor to get out. The neighbor, who hadn't completely mutated, eventually left the room. Aiden rushed over and locked the door. The next second, there was a miserable cry for help from outside. He looked through the cat's eye and found his neighbor being bitten by a zombie. He covered his mouth and sat down on the floor. He didn't get over his mood until the evening and had to use alcohol to numb himself. And a text message from his father made him break down straight away. Their situation is not good either. Aiden rushed to call his father, but the other party did not answer. Now he had to rely on himself. He blocked the door of his room with the refrigerator to prevent the zombies from breaking in. The bed was moved to the living room so that he could monitor the door at all times. He also sealed the windows to prevent the zombies from finding him outside. But the door was often knocked on. He didn't know if it was a zombie or a person. This night there was a sudden banging on the toilet. Aiden suddenly had a bad feeling. He grabbed a baseball bat and slowly approached. Oh my god, it was a zombie falling down the ventilation pipe. Aiden panicked and hid. He saw the zombie limping into the living room. His heart was in his throat. Luckily, the zombie didn't find him at first. Taking advantage of this gap, he cautiously attacked from behind. The first time he killed a zombie, Aiden looked a little overwhelmed. When he got over it, he threw the body off the balcony and then used the surfboard to block the ventilation pipe of the toilet. These zombies are really good. The ventilation pipe can also be burrowed in, but Aiden had to face more than just zombies. Within a few days, the water to his house stopped working. There is not much food left. He was on the verge of collapse. One day he finally got a signal on his cell phone. Excitedly, he picked up his phone and saw it was the last message his parents had sent him. Something happened to them. Aiden's heart was ashes, and he had no courage to live. He tore off the window coverings and put the rope around his neck. But just as he decided to kick the bench away, he suddenly saw something outside the window. Aiden turned sideways with a puzzled face and found that there was a woman on the balcony of the opposite building. He didn't think there were any living people. It's unbelievable. When he was excited, he almost strangled himself to death. Easily free from the restraints, Aiden could not wait to go forward, lying on the window to take a closer look. But not long after, the woman closed the curtains, but her presence made Aiden feel that he was no longer alone. At night, Aiden tidied up a bit. The next morning he came out to the balcony to say hello to the woman. The woman's name is Eva, and she too found Aiden. But there are zombies down there, sensitive to sound. They could only communicate through text. Knowing that Eva had no water, Aiden threw a rope over and built a simple cableway, thoughtfully bringing her water. But unexpectedly, the water bottle hit the railing, and the sound attracted a zombie. He flew up the wall and quickly climbed toward Eva. To protect Eva, Aiden hits the zombie with the water bottle. His action successfully attracts the zombie's attention. He jumped down the stairs and ran straight toward Aiden. A zombie is at the door, and it keeps banging on it. Aiden's situation is very dangerous. He tells Eva to go back inside, then closes the balcony door and holds the door against his body. The noise outside stops abruptly, but the danger doesn't end there. Another zombie has arrived at the balcony. He can't open the door, so he hits the glass with his head. Aiden picks up the bat and prepares to fight the zombie. Although the zombie broke the glass, he fainted himself. Aiden rushed out of the balcony and attacked the fallen zombie like crazy. Aiden knows that if he stays like this, he will surely die. So he must go out and find some useful supplies, and then find a way to get out of here. He plucked up the courage to push open the door of the room. The hallway was unusually quiet. Only the neighbor's body was lying there. He had just found the neighbor's key when he heard a movement behind him. Aiden had no time to escape, so he had to play dead. Luckily, the zombies didn't find him. Aiden took the opportunity to get up and use the key to open the neighbor's door before the zombies arrived. He opened the bedroom and saw a dead body lying on the bed. He threw his helmet at her, but there was no reaction. Once he was sure it was safe, he started looking for supplies in the house. He opened the refrigerator, and the smell of decay hit him. Luckily, there was a bottle of peanut butter and a bag of uneaten cookies in the cupboard. Aiden also discovered that his neighbor was a climbing enthusiast. After a lot of searching, he finally found a hiking bag under the bed, but just as he reached for the rope, he suddenly saw a pair of feet. Oh no! It's a zombie! He jumped on Aiden. Aiden rushed to grab an ice pick to kill the zombie and then quickly returned home. Before catching his breath, he immediately removed his clothes and checked his body for bites. Fortunately, it was just a false alarm. What makes Aiden even happier is that 2 walkie-talkies are inside the bag. He took advantage of the night to avoid the zombies and ventured to Eva's building to drop the walkie-talkies to Eva, because he hadn't talked to anyone for a long time. Early the next morning, Eva's voice came over the walkie-talkie. The two talked freely for a long time as if they had forgotten the end of the world. After a few more days, he was running out of food. Aiden climbed into the ventilation duct of the toilet and prepared to look for supplies in other rooms. The smell here was bad, but it was safer than going outside. He picked a room at random and jumped down. After ensuring all the rooms were safe, Aiden dropped his guard and found plenty of food in the kitchen to keep them alive for a long time. He couldn't wait to tell Eva the good news. Eva, on the other hand, was worried about his safety. Aiden says the place is safe, and a refrigerator is blocking the door. That's when Eva suddenly realized something was wrong. Why is the refrigerator blocking the door if no one is in the house? Aiden felt bad, turned around, and an older man suddenly appeared behind him. The older man's name was Edward, and after confirming that they were both normal, Edward also lowered his guard and kindly served Aiden with food, and the things in the cupboard could be taken at will. Aiden doesn't know he's about to get hurt. While he was fetching wine, Edward suddenly attacked Aiden from behind. There are few kind-hearted people in a post-apocalyptic world where food is scarce. Soon after, Aiden woke up from his coma. He opened his eyes in a daze and saw a zombie in front of his eyes, which almost scared him to death. And this zombie is Edward's wife. Edward loved her so much that he would never give up on her, even if she turned into a zombie. So Edward tied his wife to the bed and kept her captive. Before that, his 2 pet dogs had become his wife's food. Until he met Aiden, Edward's wife could finally have a change of taste. However, at that moment, someone was suddenly talking outside, and it was Eva calling Aiden. When Edward went out to check, Aiden started to struggle desperately and finally broke free from the restraints. Edward heard the sound come. Aiden pulled Edward behind him so that he became a buffet of zombies. He was just about to leave when he heard Eva calling for help. The zombies have broken into her house. Aiden instantly, like a stimulant, through the zombie swarm. At the speed of light back home, he saw Eva trapped on the balcony and zombies all over the house. Aiden didn't have time to think, pulled the cloth, and jumped straight down. The zombies are coming. There was a gun on the ground. Aiden picks up the gun and kills the zombie with 1 shot, but the sound of the gun attracted more zombies. Eva hurriedly put down the cloth. Aiden grabbed the cloth and climbed up. The zombies also followed him. In a hurry, Aiden crossed the balcony and cut off the cloth. The zombie fell. He tells Eva to get down. Eva pulls the cloth and jumps down. Aiden catches her. Without resting, they ran through the corridor and into a safe passage. From here, they could go straight to Aiden's house. At the door, Aiden told Eva to get ready. As soon as he opens the door, the zombie pounces on him. Aiden followed the zombie and rolled downstairs. The zombie jumped on Aiden and bit him like crazy. In the critical moment, Eva grabbed an ice axe and hit the zombie hard. Aiden was successfully saved. They came to the corridor, and there were zombies in front and behind them. After a tough battle, they finally got rid of the zombies. The destination is close at hand, but just before they entered the door, a zombie came running. Aiden had just sent Eva into the house when the zombie jumped on her. Eva can only watch helplessly. The zombie tries to break into the room, but Aiden pulls him out the next moment. He desperately guarded Eva, and finally, he returned inside the house. Aiden told Eva to stay away from him. He walked to the balcony. If really bitten by a zombie, he could immediately jump down. Luckily, Aiden was lucky, and he wasn't infected. They cry with joy. The sound of hissing outside the house came again. Aiden rushed against the refrigerator. Eva also came to help. Although the danger is not lifted, they have become stronger after all this experience.